Wonderful Nigerians across the globe. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. As you already know, I am George Onibe. And of course, as a society value advocate, all we can do in a time like this is to continually appeal to the conscience of our people. Peradventure, they will grow to the level of maturity where we can be able to call a spade a spade. Until then, we are not in a hurry. This morning, I want us to look at a message as simply titled, The Issue of Political Imbalance, the Issue of Unreviewed Constitution, and of course, ultimately, the issue of corruption, and not the actually main problem of Nigeria. But these are the hardcore truth, the hardcore activities that imposed the challenge we go through as a people. But in its real sense, they were just process that orchestrate the real problem. I would have said challenge. But what we are facing on this setting is a problem. And which means if we do not apply the right solution, it can ultimately destroy all of us. When it's a challenge, it calls for a battle. And there is possibility that one person must win. But when it becomes a problem, ultimately, it's not just about winning. One person must be destroyed. And so if this issue I refer to as problem is not properly addressed, one person will suffer a brutal consequence, and which we don't wish for anybody. I've come across so many Nigerians, I've been in so many places across the country. And each time you have access to indigenous people, you begin to wonder, how did we arrive at the position where we are today, when some group of supposed Nigerians are everywhere, castigating everybody they can castigate? You go to Radio Biafra now, they will tell you the military are responsible, the police are the problem, the politicians are the problem. Everybody is a problem to them. The criminal in Kuwait, called China Sangolu, was trying to deceive gullible fellow Igbo Biafra and was telling them that the issue of criminality in Anambra is not the cause of IPOB. The Nigerian military know, Nigerian police know, Nigerian Chief Justice know, everybody know that is the problem of politicians. Soludo has not been on the limelight until he told Igbo people that 99.9% of criminal activity going on in the southeast is the handwork of Igbo people. And IPOB is not comfortable because Soludo don't want problem. He would have told Igbo people that IPOB is your problem. But then he knew that some of his cabal are IPOB member. So many of them, because they think IPOB, we give them, or what do you call it, we put them to power. All of you, we are watching you. Let's see the political party you would support. Because you are not fit for purpose. And so in one way, instead of them to accept the fact that most of the killing in Benue State and every other place in the middle belt, not central, you are saying Fulani headsmen, may not actually be completely Fulani headsmen. Because in case you don't know, we are carrying out forensic investigation. When they attack Benue State, we are studying the people who live across that community. And if I give you our update, you will be shocked. But they will be exposed. It's as simple as that. And so, like I was saying, Nigeria is going through a problem, not challenge anymore. And if we fail to address it, nobody will be spared. And I know this is not what we want as a people. I said, go and visit Nigerians, indigenous people, wherever they are. It will shock you, the love that exists. You go to Benue, you see people who are very, that is, their level of hospitality is unimaginable. You go to Okwane, you will know that there are people whose other name is hospitality. And across border, when they see you as a stranger for the first time, you are treated well. You are respected. Your interest is protected. Like Abo, where I come from, let me tell you, we don't undermine strangers. It is embedded in our DNA. We don't persecute strangers. If you are in Abo, prove me wrong. Except you look for their trouble. Because even our monarch system, even our constituted authority will not be favorable to us if we deal with strangers. And that is why sometimes they say Agbo is a free town. Because even non-indigenous want to ride us. And yet we look at them. We look at them not because they have power. We look at them because at the end of the day, we are all human. We're supposed to live for one another until you cross your boundary. And then you begin to ask, how can Nigerians who are tolerance people, who tolerate, who bear all the rubbish happening to us, how could we hate each other? And when you want to address it, you see people speaking big grammar. They will say, it's corruption. What is corruption? Because if you want to deal with the issue of corruption in a larger scale, corruption is in the church. The religious bodies are corrupt. Political bodies are corrupt. Even some family are corrupt. Because a man who buy Android phone for his son to join Yahoo, I wonder what he's teaching the son. Because most parents do that now. They even encourage them to follow sugar mommy and sugar daddy. They encouraged it. But I'm not your judge. They are all corruption. Because if you encourage your daughter to follow sugar daddy, what are you sending your daughter to do? To get cheap money. Money without value. At the expense of who? His future husband. And then when the girl gets married eventually, the girl cannot be able to stay in the husband's house. Is that not corruption of family? And so where are we going to start with? The politicians, those security apparatus, the religious body, even most of our monarchs, our leaders, stakeholders. So where do you start from? How do you solve such huge problem? Though it's part of Nigerian challenge or problem we are facing. Some people are easy to tell you that, oh, it's a political imbalance. And which obviously is the truth. This was the reason we followed Nnamdi Kanu. Let's address the issue of political imbalance. Today we know that indeed the challenge of political imbalance is there. But that is not the major problem of Nigeria. And not until we know. We will be fighting each other. We will be repeating the same, creating the same atmosphere that has led us to where we are. Political imbalance. They used to say, oh, the North rule. Without the North, nobody rule. I'm sure you see it's not true now. Let the North remove Tinubu now. Let the North remove Tinubu. You can see the political arena have changed. I can only pray that with the presence of Tinubu, that the political frontier of Nigeria is not hijacked by Yoruba people. Because kingdom rise and kingdom fall. But as we speak today, it's impossible. I'm not asking you to pull the shot, but it is impossible for Hausa to remove Tinubu. And that is to tell you that if there is political imbalance, somebody created that process. Somebody made it that way. Because from the foundation of Nigeria, it was never so. The Yoruba rally ran the Igbo people. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe almost turned Obafemi Awolowo against Yoruba people. How much did Yoruba even respect Obafemi Awolowo? Until he was able to expose the chameleonality. How do I put it in English? Chameleonality. But you know what I'm saying. Until they discover he's a chameleon. All he wanted is power and nothing more. That was when Yoruba began to believe on Obafemi Awolowo. Because he had his African Pilot newspaper dishing out lies. And then from the Northern Protectorate to the Southern Protectorate, you now have the Eastern and the West region with the Northern region. They will tell you that the purpose is to create a political balance, but this is not the truth. Division has started. And now, under the umbrella of Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, the North, the West, and the East, there were now battle to inherit who that brought us where we are today. That in our own country, we cannot talk. Because one Igbo man will say you speak Igbo language. One Igbo man Biafra will say your name is Igbo name. And then another one will say your land is Igbo land. That is where this rubbish started from. But we didn't say anything. And if we follow the path they are leading us through, we will turn every Nigeria against each other. But this word is big enough for all of us. And somewhere along the line, we believe the issue or challenge or problem we are facing in Nigeria as a people, we can't solve this problem. And that is what we are here to do. It does not matter how you view our pattern, but we know the result we are making or getting already. Everybody must get sense. If a generation of our own father can practically sit down and take away our rights, something is wrong. And somewhere along the line, they are congregating around themselves to impose their children to rule us. But they took over our life. But these are not the problem. Political imbalance is not the problem. Because we have seen the politics of IPOB, who is shouting Biafra, because they want to crucify Soludo now. But that will be the last thing they will do. And then some of them will go ahead and tell you it is the Unreviewed Constitution. That is a problem. Because most people don't know. The first constitution ever that was imposed on us as a people was the document, the amalgamation document. The amalgamation document of 1914 was a way, a bylaw, to keep us in check while they think of what they will turn us into. And I'm sure it's even more favorable, despite the fact that the people were not consulted. Something happened. That is the problem, not the document. And then we move from the amalgamation document. We now have the Lugard Constitution. Who was the first terrorist to rule us? He brought his own law. And later on, it was upgraded. But it's still better than what is governing us today, in our own hand. And then you have the Mafosen Constitution, and then the Richard Constitution, and then all of a sudden, boom, we had independence. Nigerians were one. The Constitution was there, imposed on us by the imperialists. We never fought ourselves. We never killed ourselves. Everybody was in order. Everybody loved themselves. And believe me, our work here is to take us back to those era. But we know that if we want peace, we must fight. You see this fight, when we are done with Igbo Biafra people, they will get sense. I think they are social media warrior. We are coming. Because if you do not confront these people, their hypocrisy will not be exposed. Every day they are crying everywhere. Oh, they hate us. Oh, Nigeria is evil. Oh, Nigeria is bad market. Oh, Nigeria. But they are the major problem. And everybody keep quiet because you are a gentleman. And now I begin to see why fellas say, I no be gentleman at all. But understand, and I repeat, we are not driven by hatred. It is as simple as ofeti koro. Ofeti koro. Weje kodaro. Makene wata senina na heko ya wana heko. You that I speak his language, I hope you are understanding what I'm saying. Because I want to teach you my own language now. Very soon, we'll be speaking Abo. We'll be speaking our language. Speak your Igbo, let me speak my own. Since I speak your own, you should be able to understand me. Losers. And now, like I was saying, Nigerians were one. As a child, we heard about people like Fela Moda. All of them were actively asking the imperialists to leave. They were all activists. Fela's mother risked her life. We know how she died. And I'm sure we don't talk much about them because it will expose some criminal. There were so many of them across board. People like Enahuru, people like Esong, Clement, the one in your 1,000 naira note, people like Okotiebo. I'm just talking about minority. On the music flank, you have many people like Edna Ogosi. When you hear about Margaret Ekpo, it's not Igbo woman, but she led Aba woman riot. That time, Igbo people were Igbo people. Biafra has not come among them. Because while Igbo people sleep, Igbo Biafra took over their life. And instead of them to cry for help, they are pretending. One group of lunatics will come out and say, we are Igbo Biafra. Disturbing Nigeria from the foundation to this very moment. I'm coming. And then you are Igbo. You are tolerating them. All of them go collect. Now, imagine Margaret Ekpo, a Calabar woman, was able to communicate to the women in Aba and say, what is happening in Nigeria is uncalled for. We must act as women. And those women in Aba said, this is true. We can't take it anymore. They contacted the women in Enugu and its environment. Every woman came and carried out a rally. And each time you say Aba woman riot, it looks like it's Aba woman. It's not Aba women that organized it. It is a Calabar woman. But this is to show you that whatever they did, they loved themselves. They have to give it to Aba because Aba was a center where they could attract the attention of those in authority. Nobody was quarreling anybody. Everybody was living peacefully. Fela's mother was doing her own in the west. Margaret Ekpo was doing her own in the east. And there were so many other persons from the north who were still doing the same thing. But they were on one page. They were on one page. But we wanted a better life. And when we got independent, they gave us constitution. The constitution imposed on us by the Queen of England. Of course, it was fair enough the last time I checked. Because the Queen of England becoming the head of state of Nigeria with ceremonial president like Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe allowed us to develop on our constitution that gave us to Republic. Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I'm sure, are we still unitary or federal? Because I don't understand anymore anyway. In some document, you see Federal Republic of Nigeria. Are we still on the federation system of government? And that is what they gave to us. Every region were doing their things. It's like more of a healthy competition. Yoruba people, every opportunity they have, begin to develop a battle. And no wonder you see the first TV station in Nigeria, Yoruba land. First person to drive motor, woman, Yoruba land. First radio station, Yoruba. The most educated people today is Yoruba because that era of Obafemi Awolowo gave scholarship not just to the Western people, but even across the Midwestern region. Because I remember in my time, we were having free education, courtesy of Ambrose Ali, influenced by Obafemi Awolowo. They developed their place. It was healthy. And some people like Michael Okpara and the rest of them in that era began to develop their places as well. It was more of a competition. The North were doing the same thing. Until the enemy came. While they sleep, the enemy came. And then we have what you call regional system of government. In less than how many years? One lunatic from nowhere carried that coup. I want you to see the people who are bleeding for this nation. They are not a silent majority. It looks like the majority stand by and use the minority and then they take over the whole process. I have my reason. But I think most people have learned and they are calming down. But this Igbo Biafra, that thing they did to our father, that thing they've done even to their own people, they're still going to repeat it in our time. We shall see how it goes. And so what am I trying to say in effect? Kub, my minority brother, let's go on that. carried that Igbo coup, Chukwumanzogo. And the coup killed all the whole Hausa politicians, killed some Yoruba politicians, and the remaining one, like people like General Gundikbe, ran away before they could get to them. But they didn't kill Igbo politicians. But remember, this Anyoma man now is not Igbo man when you talk about this Igbo coup. It's a Niger Delta man. It's a minority man. But it's Anyoma man, supposedly. But it's not Igbo man when the history of Igbo coup is told. They were used. And Chukwumanzogo, who is a minority, carried that coup in favor of Igbo people. And then Aguiyi-Ironsi came. That should be decree number 32. What Aguiyi-Ironsi used. He removed the law of Queen of England, which was fair enough, and used decree number 32 and concocted all our life to what it is today. And so for a very long time, Nigerian came to her knee because he dragged all the whole power to himself. He squashed the region and make himself sole administrator. And that reminds me, Tinubu should begin to consider the removal of the sole administrator of Rivers State. Because the day it will be interpreted later will not be in your favor. And so Aguiyi-Ironsi become the sole administrator of all Nigeria, impose decree on us. Not because they want unity of one Nigeria. They want to complete the mission Igbo Biafra is trying to complete. There is a reason I have to narrate all these things before I bring you to the main purpose of this broadcast. At this era and point in time, there were cocoa and timber coming from the west. And of course, Benin, as unusual sculptors who can mold and carve, they have access to some of the finest wood that even brought the Portuguese to come and export. And so everybody had what they were doing. So let's give the cocoa and the timber to the Yoruba. And then we give the granite to the Hausa. And of course, majorly some of the food we eat. Whether it is the middle belt today or it is the core Hausa North, no, all of them are farmers. And so a lot of money was coming there because we used to export. And then from the east, you have palm oil. And I'm sure in that era, there is no place in the world you will see palm oil like you will see in the eastern Nigeria. And so there was still coal in Enugu, still needed across the globe. And then oil was discovered in Niger Delta. But the money coming from oil supersede the money coming from all the resources put together. And that is how Nigeria abandoned cocoa farming, they abandoned groundnut farming. Today, where you see them fighting for cow, I've not heard that Nigeria export cow. That is why we abandon palm oil. Now we import palm oil. Go and see China apple. We are not importing apple. And after you say our problem is corruption, a political imbalance, and then unreviewed constitution, I'm coming. So Aguiyi-Ironsi actually want to control all the money. That is why he brought Nigeria one. And they enjoyed it temporarily. And then the Hausa struck. They did a counter coup. They revenged. And then they tested the Adam Sapo. When Hausa came on board and see what it takes, what it means to be overall sole administrator in charge, what Aguiyi-Ironsi was eyeing, what he has done already, they have to sustain it. And so we are doing unity system of government. And we are uniting. I hope we are uniting and we are uniting. Let's tell ourselves the truth. I'm coming. And then we got to a stage. That should be in 1998. The cry of constitutional review has gotten to a certain stage where certain individuals feel something need to be done, and they imposed on us this 1999 constitution. It is the handwork of Abdul Salam Abubakar. He only extracts some information. He took some instrument from this law document all the way from amalgamation down to Aguyorunsi unitary decree, military decree rather. And then the next thing we had is we, the people of Nigeria, boom, 1999 constitution. Today, you cannot talk because our 1999 constitution is rigid at the same time flexible. When it has to deal with the cross-section of Nigeria, it becomes rigid. And when it has to do with the cross-section of Nigeria, it becomes flexible. But now I just mentioned 3 areas, and I'm trying to make you understand that they are not the problem of Nigeria, but they are part of the problem. But this is the real problem. When all these things go wrong, nobody talks. And the only people who will talk are fighting to change narratives. That is the problem of Nigeria. Fighting to change narratives. And now, not until we develop our own mind in truth, in honesty, in sincerity, in honesty, we're going to go a long way. How do you become sincere? The people need to have a rallying point where the activities of the government of the day will be checked. Not for anybody to conquer anybody, but for everybody to remind everybody the purpose or the reason why they are there. And let's take, for example, as somebody from Delta State. Let's assume we voted Ibori in the first democratic dispensation to be our governor. Ibori was not happy because Asaba was made capital. But Ibori does not know one thing, that Abo people are more angry for Asaba to be capital because something was not right. It was a favor by Babangida to favor his in-law. But then, how can we begin to cry over something that will benefit us at the end? We allow it to slide. And then because of this thing, these are what they are not telling you. Ibori opened his eye and wicked our people, Anyoma people. Ibori was said to have said that throughout he's a governor, even the tissue paper he will use to go to toilet, he will not leave it in Asaba. And he carried it out. Go and ask Ibori, did he sleep in the capital of Delta State for once? When he feel like strolling, he carries his convoy, run to Asaba, just run around Kuka. Oh, he's governor, he's go back to his place. Hausa is not here, Yoruba is not here. We have been with Urubu, Shekiri, Abraka, Ole, Patani. We have been with Olion, Wesako, Mawuchi, from the Midwestern region down to Bende State. But why will Ibori do that? And then normally I suppose to say Shekiri people are wicked, Urubu people are wicked. Then no send them. He's fooling himself. But how did he end? Yes, he had issues. He stole, repaired his place. And then we moved on. Uduaga took over. Uduaga somehow reduced the insult of Ibori against us. But they are all the same people. Let's go by that. Uduaga reduced the insult. He started the same thing. He began to have problems. And he was removed by the federal government. But this is how life works, and this is how they solve problem. They took my community boy, he's my younger brother, we are from the same community, and used him to replace Uduanga. The intention was that maybe what happened in Bayelsa would have happened to Uduanga. But we told my brother, you don't do that. As a caretaker, take care until he comes back. You are not the governor. Don't assume anything. The oath is to protect the citizens of the country and that state. Do your job. And I'm happy and I thank God that this brother did as he was supposed to do. This is how to solve a nation problem. And after a while, Uduaga was recalled. And that is why they had meeting. And say, oh, since these people did not betray us, we have learned our lesson. That is why Ukowa was even there. And you notice after Ukowa tenure, Ukowa did not say, now I have the power. By fire, by force, another Abo man, another Ekama must take over. They let it slide. I was happy when Ned Nwokoro was insulting the governor of Delta State, Sheriff, that is Okowa boy. If you see how happy I am. So Sheriff, our governor of Delta State, please remain Okowa boy, but let Delta State be progressing. And today, even though I can say we are not having our own fair share of being in Delta, but nobody is complaining. And we are creating the bridge that one day our conscience will be awakened. And so when you wake up one day and say, let me build one bridge in my community, remember that there are communities that have been there without bridge, even when your community have a bridge. And you will see that the moment we begin to change our ways of reasoning and approach to one another, you will know that there is nothing like corruption. You will know that there is nothing like political imbalance. You will know that there is nothing like unconstitutional review, because they are aided and abetted by how we narrate issue. What I have just told you, I can present it in such a way that my people will develop resentment for Urubu and Ishekiri people. But no, nobody is infallible. We make mistakes. But own up, accept it. I told you what Ibuli did. I told you how Uduaga continued. I told you how in Uduaga's time we would have placed him on a gallows. But we have been talking to them and they listened. And when he returned to the office, Buhari even tried to remove Okowa. Most of you have forgotten. Because when Buhari entered, the first thing he did was to close down Asaba Airport. And he said the runway is not wide enough. And people began to ask, how can an airport constructed by state governor who have the best of architects, civil engineers, so on, construct a modern day airport with a tiny runway? They couldn't defend it, but it was Okowa he was coming for. The battle went on. They annulled the mandate given to Okowa by the people of Delta State. Most of you are not aware. And when it was time to rerun the election of Delta State, nobody turned up. And so the government of the day knew that these people are one and there is nothing you can do. But you see, I just give you example with my state, not because we have issue. I've not seen Aboman quarreling Urubuman quarreling Aboman fighting Bini person. I've not seen us have land dispute. In most cases, we don't even know the owner of the land anymore. Go to places like Ozanishi, Ozanogo, Umolua, Naifo, Ubojobo, so many places, you don't even know who owns the land. Because we live harmoniously, we live peacefully, but we tell you when we are not happy with what you are doing, and what you should do is amend your ways. But you see, in the case of Nigeria, if today we want to solve the problem of Nigeria, we need to analyze how these problems start. And this is how doctors work. Even though they know what is actually wrong with you, a true doctor will insist to run tests on you, because there are things they may not have vestige is happening already. They cannot ascertain the level of damage done to you, and so they run tests. And from one test to another, they are able to solve your problem in a normal medical setting, and you are healed. But let me explain to you that the moment you begin to analyze based on feeling, emotional, you look at him, he look healthy. 90% of people who are HIV/AIDS victims look healthier than 100% of those people who don't have AIDS. So when you judge by appearance, you judge by feeling. I feel it's okay. You don't know anything. And so we as Nigerians have been looking at everywhere trying to change the narratives. And so this problem accumulates in the mind of the people. This problem accumulates emotionally. And we entertain them. And some of us, out of arrogancy, continue to do that. And so when you talk with Igbo person, who is a nice person, and then you switch on your social media, and you see the Igbo people insulting your people, how do you treat your friend? And when you believe that this Igbo madness, Igbo Biafra madness, is all about Igbo people, how do you treat Igbo people? And that is exactly what IPOB of Fernand Kano and their entire Igbo Biafra unity beggar, that is the position they are putting Igbo people today. But thank God we are speaking out. And most of them have started disassociating themselves from this criminality, because under this madness, anything go wrong. anything go wrong. You see that Biafra, you are crying, they kill us, they kill us. Now we know why it looks like those who were involved in that war that should not have happened. Only God knows what they saw. We are not in a war. We are fed up and tired of shenanigans of the Igbo Biafra people. And so somewhere I have to say it in their favor. Igbo people biko numunemo ewekwana niwe mana ensha bofu aye umunne kaine ebi n'udo. And when I know your interior motives, God forbid. That is why it looks like we are very raw. And so when it comes to Nigerian issue, the only thing we do, the problem we have is trying to sugarcoat the truth. Look at Peter Obi. Peter Obi is a Biafra man. Nobody should doubt that. You see, if you ask him now, he said, I don't know him. Who is the guy? Tell Peter Obi is the guy. Aloy Ejimako had a meeting with him during articulation in Enugu. But it's a Nigeria in the morning, a Biafra at night. That is why they jump through the window. But look at what he's doing. Trying to fool Nigerians. If Tinubu mess, he will grant press interview. A fellow Nigerian, it's obvious the president has flattered. We cannot kill him, only that he should have gone out of the office, not to defy the office of the president. And so it's true. President have flattered. He would have run to backyard now. After all, there is toilet. He's not saying it about you. He's dragging the president to the mud. Don't you see his body language? He was there being the advocate of every ethnic group in Nigeria because he want to go to Aso Rock by force and they will lie to you. But the problem in his place, he has never spoken about that. No, let us pretend he's not a Biafra man, but he has hero beer. Or Nigerians don't know that hero beer carry flag of Biafra. Does Nigerians don't know that hero beer carry the flag of Biafra? But he's a Nigerian man because somehow Torundi Igbo will be saying, when I can't do coalition, we are coming. We'll tell you the truth. Stop changing narrative to suit your interior motive against other ethnic groups. That is our problem. If we are able to checkmate all these excesses, corruption will lose its power. Political imbalance will lose its stench. And be rest assured, every other ills that plague us as a people, all of them will come to nothing. No, just look at the current hardship Nigerians are going through. Do you know the solution they want to give you? Coalition. They are telling you now, let us coalesce, erufy them. People who sponsor terrorists in the open day are coming to teach you moral. But you are in Nigeria because you love erufy. So anything erufy say, oh, it's compulsory. Then Atiku is coming. Atiku made a great mistake. What he did to Obasanjo, we judge him for a very long time. Let him collect ticket 1 million times. And it's applicable to P2B. 2 of them are Biafra people. Ask them, what did they see, deliver, documented within Nnamdi Kanu? And now we know Biafra people are mad people. They are insane. They are not normal. How do we treat them? No, how do we treat them? Oh, because you believe they are your people. We should entertain their excesses. You are sugarcoating our problem. Go to Biafra platform. They are still Nigerians. They will never talk anything good about Nigeria. Never. Nigeria is evil. Nigeria is a zoo. Nigeria is this one. Nigeria is that one. But they are Nigerians. They are the criminal in Nigeria. They are the one controlling all the problem. And you can't say it. Look at all the problem I have analyzed. All of them, there is Igbo man there. Superheaded by Igbo people. And other people will see the opportunity and seize it. How can you caution those people when you didn't caution the criminal? What am I trying to tell you? Solving Nigerian problem is not coming to give it a name. Let us stop how we change narratives. When a poor man steals, he's a criminal, he's a thief. When a rich man steals, theft, it becomes theft, no be thief. It becomes looting, no be stealing. Why changing the narratives? When a poor man breaks the law, it has different name. When a rich man breaks the law, it has different name. Why do you change the narratives? If we're able to grow to the level of maturity, like I said, calling a speed, a lot of things will be good in Nigeria. Today, the newly appointed NAFDAC leader, the woman is afraid. They have beaten the woman blue and black. I know she's receiving threat message, and she will not want to die like Dora Akunyere. Why did Nigeria not bother to know what really killed Dora Akunyere? Oh, they don't want to offend Ndibo, and tomorrow they want another person to put their life on the line. And so the Yoruba woman is running already because there are idiots on social media telling you, how can the NAFDAC shut down on a market? Don't you know they sell fake drug there? They are molding native chalk and selling as paracetamol, chloroquine, erythromycin, and arabamycin. Don't you know? Don't you know 99.9% of the drug they are fake? Don't you know? But you're going to change the narrative. Oh, it's attack on Ndibo. We cannot accept it. Shut up. That problem is what ate corruption. That problem is what gave political imbalance foothold over our life. That your arrogant shenanigan is what has kept us here. And so the few who are able to manage all of us have bought enough gun to shoot all of us. They don't care for you. They care for the power. They will be there. Let one Yoruba man challenge Tinubu. His life will not remain the same again. Because the hand that will touch him, they cannot recover again. But nobody is afraid. Nobody will say we don't want hand to touch us. Let it touch us. But this is the switch. They will not come out. They will not talk. Because if Yoruba man stand up now and say, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, what you are doing is wrong. It's not healthy for Nigeria. Do you know what will happen next? Tinubu will say, you are stupid. How dare you talk to His Excellency that way? Lock him up. Igbo will say it's good for them. Let them use their hand to kill themselves. I will say, don't put your mouth to. Now their wahala be that. And it is applicable when it happened to Hausa and Igbo. Vice versa, they will repeat the same thing. But they always forget that we are all one Nigeria. Where we me and Yahweh. When you beat the eye, the nose will be crying as well. And when you beat the nose, the eye will cry. And so all of them have to accept that they are part of the head. And everybody should be accorded his own respect. Fellow Nigerian, irrespective of where you come from. Whether you are Hausa, whether you are Yoruba, whether you are Igbo, whether you are minority. There's so many of us. If we want to save Nigeria, this is the time you stop taking side based on your feeling or emotion. Because your feeling is not reliable. Weather can affect your feeling. Your bank account can affect your feeling. Your health can affect your feeling. When there is rain falling, it affects your feeling. When the sun is too hot, it affects your feeling. They are not reliable. But look at the things that are reliable and begin to do that. And so that when we come, we can be able to separate the problem of Nigeria from those who mean Nigerian well. And you will see, if we are able to win this war of not trying to change narrative to suit our criminality, those who are actually criminal will have no other option than to abort their ship and join part of the progressive Nigerians. You should be preparing your mind for something like that in the nearest future. And so when some people are coming back to vote, to campaign to be senator for 14 years, some people have been senator of their community or district since 1999 till today. They are still senator. Some of them are with walking stick. They can't even walk. I just don't want to mention their name. They are the owner of that house. Since 1999, nobody removes them. Nobody campaign on their seat. And who the heck are these people? Some of them are with walking stick. If you say, oh, he hate our people, he hate our people. No, it's not hating anybody. It's trying to solve Nigerian problem. It's trying to solve Nigerian problem. And then we can expose corruption. We can expose political imbalance. We can expose some other ills that plague us as a nation. Unbiased, sincerely, transparently. Now judge by yourself. Go to the social media. Narrate what we are putting out there on the basis of neutrality. When the Yoruba person make a post on a regular basis or in neutral ground, watch them closely. And something they may be saying is promoting their people, not talking other people down. That is fair enough. If Hausa is making a video, it is promoting their people, not talking anybody down. But watch Igbo Biafra. Whether they are doing it to talk you down, whether they are doing it to promote their people, whatever mindset they are, they must get at somebody. I was listening at Ezendibo na Ghana. He was telling, yes, I'm a Biafra. I support Biafra. We told you these people are mad. But do not take them for granted. Even in their most stupid and foolish way, don't take them for granted. Biafrans are not Nigeria. Some come from Equatorial Guinea. Some are from Israel, children of Unri. Some are from Costa Rica. How could they dictate what happened in our country? How could Biafra people, a people without history, bunch of slaves, how can they tell us our country? How can they build our nation for us? So it is to be expected. We must learn to call a spade a spade. Go to Malaysia. Some of those countries there, look at how sincere they are in handling their affair. Little wonder they came here to ask us to teach them how to plant palm oil. In the 80s, today they are exporting the palm oil to us. Go and find out their secret. Because the people are the helm of affair. They understand this thing I'm telling you. Look at Dubai. At the same time in the 80s, come to borrow money from Nigeria. Is it not a shame today that Dubai now is telling Nigerians, when you come, this is visa we will give you. When you are 20 to 40, you can't enter Dubai. Dubai now that came to ask us to borrow their money because they are more intelligent than us, because they have more oil than us. Go to Dubai. If 1 drop of crude oil touch the ground, their refinery platform, like you have NNCC, will dictate it. No, go to Nigeria. They are fighting bunker. The person fighting bunker is the real bunker. But how do I analyze it without offending anybody? How can you speak progress of a nation without somebody coming to rip off emotion with what you are doing? Because somebody must weigh you. Are you Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa to make their judgment? And then other will check what he's saying. Does he favor me or it does not favor me? It's not about you. It's not about me. It is about all of us. If you have sense, have sense. If you don't have sense, please continue to change all the narrative of lie in your favor. We are here to constantly counter you. And very soon, those who trust you will begin to back off from you. Where is Nnamdi Kanu now? I thought he's a big liar. We are waiting for him. Let him come and lie. I can see one of his bingo here. Let him come. He will see Biafra. Where are all his allies? Unyoshi. Because he's the problem that is dragging Igbo people. Until Igbo people accept that, we have known the truth. So while you are trying to fight corruption, trying to address issue of political imbalance, yes, trying to review Nigerian constitution, understand that not until we are doing this thing on a neutral base, not changing narrative, we have a very long journey to embark on. I'll go to the comment section, receive my insult, and then I move on. I see my brother Chimezie. Brother Chimezie will have work to do, but then a journey of 100 kilometers starts with a step. I greet you, Janetta. I greet you. Good morning from here. Achoibi, my brother, I greet you. You see, I watched you and listened to you always. Good morning, my brother. Of course, Achoibi, we know the true Nigerians. A day will come when we are able to ward this darkness out. People will truly know those who stood against this tyranny, who called themselves social media and brought their evil to an end. And believe me, Achoibi, your presence is always an inspiration to what I'm doing. Thank you once again. And I see George Nwemeka. Nwebo, Ekelemiyo, George Nwemeka. I greet you, Nwebo. Ne agwakwa wejuku. Ne ihe areko memiri ni nchaba yenya. I greet you, George Nwemeka. Of course, look at that spelling of a Meke. It's not a Mecca, it's a Meke. And it means different thing from Igbo. And they will come and claim it's their name. Ndioshi. Your language is Igbo dialect. Igbo dialect, Igbo dialect is a Igbo. What Igbo speak is a dialect in my language. That they don't like. No bingo. Where is that bingo before? Let him come and insult. He say Margaret Ekpo is Calabar woman. Can you listen to yourself? You are telling cock and hate story. But you are Igbo Biafra. I know Christian is Igbo. Because after all, she sang Igbo Biano. Can you ofo binebi? Eh. I know she's Igbo. Onyoshi. No, fella mother is Igbo. Is there the level, you people that are Biafra, is there any madness you cannot exhibit? We are coming to teach us now. Oh no, Margaret Ekpo is Abia, because Ekpo is Igbo name, Njushi. This is not Biafra, this is Nigeria. You just exhibited what I'm saying. No, fella mother is Igbo. I was in a TikTok platform where Ghana people were complaining about Igbo king. I was looking at them. That Igbo king now, Igbo Biafra king in Ghana. The next thing you will start, he will give you a cock and bull story of how one Igbo man and woman gave birth to Ghana people. Have you not come across that post on social media when one drunk Igbo Biafra man was saying that it was actually a Igbo woman known as Irupa, who was the daughter of Gbo. It was Gbo that gave birth to Urupa, and Urupa is the mother of Europeans. Njoshi. And some people say, don't mind these people. Allow them 1 feet in your community, and you people may have to regret it for a very long time. And that is one thing we will never allow to happen. No, Ekpo now is your play. You look at yourself. Christian is also Igbo because she sang Igbo song. She's also Yoruba because she sang Yoruba song. Those were eras where Nigerians were one. When Yoruba person sing Igbo song here, you will question their identity. When Igbo person sing, you will question their identity. And amazingly, almost 90% of musicians who actually were projecting the image of one true Nigeria, all of them are from Midwestern region. Should I begin to remind you about Uruswiliki, the Mandators, Ras Kimono, Majek Fashek, Edna Ogusi? All of them are from the Midwestern state, most especially Benin. We don't have hatred for anybody. We want one Nigeria more than any of you want, but not on the expense of our people. Unfortunately, Nnamdi Kanu tout, you are the only one here. Go and bring other gangs. Share this video for them and tell them to talk rubbish. Because Igbo Biafra always know how to use other people. When it's time for enjoyment, they take over the floor. But when it's time for sacrifice, they look for who to use, to abandon later. Chukwumanzogo is a testament against your kind. Achuze is a testament against your kind. Philip Effiong is a testament against your kind. And even from among you, people like Ifajuna is a testament against your kind. Now the Kanona is looking for how to collaborate with Nigeria. Nigeria army know the truth. So Nigeria army is not a Boko Haram army again. China Sanguru. Nigeria army now is not a terrorist army. Finally, you think they will support you. Come and build one Nigeria. We are one Nigeria. By fire, by force. You must enjoy the one Nigeria. Deal with this truth. Deal with this truth. But give us our Southeast, we are going to divide it. Southeast does not belong to Igbo people. Maybe that is the campaign we will be talking. Since Nedi Nwokuru don't want to have sense. Southeast does not belong to Ndibo. From Nedi Nwokuru of Anioma 419 creation, it's obvious that a Gala, a Doma, and other Akwa Ibom people in the Southeast, all of them are gone. Joshi. Tomorrow you invade their community, tell us it's Fulani headsmen. Just to depopulate them. It's unfortunate. This is where I bring the broadcast to an end. Tomorrow is another day. We'll continue from there. Let us stop changing narrative to suit ourselves. Because that is the real problem. Have a nice day.